Okay, welcome to this. This is not a mistake. This is real. This is like my real life right now. I don't know if you can see this. The hanging rail up there, the hanging rail. I don't even know what to say about this, but there's a reason why I have decided to show you this craziness. First of all, I'm also filming on my phone for the first time horizontally, and I am constantly looking at myself instead of at the camera, so there's that. I am not really having a great time of things right now. This is a rough time in my life, and I don't really know what to say about that. My father is in hospice care. That's about all I feel like going into in a video. I've been struggling for a long time, even before this, with a lot of things. And there have been places in my life where I've really wanted to grow and expand. And yet I've had a really hard time getting there. And one of those places is my home. There's just so many improvements that I would like to make this like the ultimate personalized, amazing place to live. Also, I'd really just love to be able to afford to buy my actual dream home. Not that I don't love this place, but I'm going to be 50 in a couple years. Like, I would really love to get to that point in my life where I'm not just treading water all the time. And even just making improvements in this house has been a slow, tedious, never-ending process because I just can't afford it. And there's so many things I want to do. So I kind of have little bursts of things that I can get done every now and then. And for the most part, most things just are not getting done. I would also really love to grow in my career, and I'm having a really hard time with that as well for reasons I don't completely know. And the ones I do know, I don't really want to get into them right now either. But that is another area of my life where I am treading water a lot, and they're all related. All of these things where I want to expand and grow, travel is another space. They're all related because, first of all, they all require me to make more money. And that's a little bit difficult to do. So things have largely come to a standstill in my life since December 27th, which was the day my father went into the ICU and then came out and went into hospice. I haven't really had a lot of energy or ability to do things. And that has been particularly jarring because before all this happened, I thought this was going to be the year that I really started making progress in all of these areas. And now it's like, I can't, I don't care, I don't have the energy. However, there are times when I do feel like I have more energy and I have more drive, and sometimes the weirdest things inspire those feelings, like this. So what happened here is I was doing a kettlebell workout and the kettlebell flew out of my hand and hit the closet door. And I was so worried it was going to actually like break the door, like leave a hole in the door or a dent or something, and it didn't, and I was so glad. However, I was not able to close or open the closet doors after that. And I know this is going to sound crazy, but there's a reason that I want to talk about this, because I think there are a lot of single female homeowners out there like me who really want to be increasingly handy and yet don't really have that skill set, usually just because it hasn't been taught to us and we're figuring it out on our own. And also I want to share this because I know there are other women like me who feel overwhelmed and just incredibly alone when it comes to home maintenance, home repairs, and things like that. And not because we're sad that we're single, but because it is so hard to find support as a single woman in this society. It is so hard to be able to have that simple resource that a lot of coupled people take for granted. So that is why I sat down in front of this door to show you this, because this is something that I think I want to talk about here. And I also feel like this, ties into work and career. This might be a way for me to help grow an audience, and I'll get back to that in a minute. But back to the doors. I am a big YouTube gal. I feel like everything's on YouTube now. It's easy to figure out. However, there's just something that tends to happen to me, and I don't understand this. I have to wonder if some of it is just a lack of confidence on my part. I feel like most of the things that I get into as far as building and home repairs go turn into a huge mess, like 10 times the actual time it would take a normal skilled person to fix, 10 times the amount of wasted money. Like, oh my God, like the amount of, look at this, like this should have been, I feel like this should have been a simple fix, and here we are days later, and this is what's happened. There are doors everywhere. The rail is hanging up, like, oh my God. So basically what happened was I tried to figure out like what the problem was, why the doors weren't closing and opening, and there's no track on the floor. There's just that little piece that keeps the doors in place. There's only a track on the top, and I did everything that the YouTube videos told me to do, including taking off that floor piece first, and then pulling the doors out to a 30-degree angle, lifting them off, putting them back on, etc. I did all of these things. I tested it. I tried again and again, and every time they would fall off the track again. At some point, I started thinking something must be wrong with the track, and it's always in the same spot where they fall off. However, it didn't appear to be broken, visually speaking. Like, I could not see anything with my eyes that would indicate that the track was damaged, but also it was a little curious to me that it was always the same spot, and this very spot that the doors were in when the kettlebell hit. So next thing, I think maybe I should take off the rail and actually sit down and look at it, maybe see if I can get an sight line straight down the side, see if it's straight, see if it's bent, like see if there's some damage that I can see with my eyes, or maybe figure out how to fix. Maybe it's easy to replace. So I get through unscrewing the 6 measly screws, or rather 5 of them. I get to the last one. The last screw is in so tight, it's like cement. I'm trying to be very careful because I know you don't want to strip the threads of a screw. Nightmare, right? However, I really didn't know any other way to get that damn screw out. I had my drill. All I could think was, I have tried everything. This thing is locked in here. Maybe I just need to take the risk of stripping the threads and get it out like a third of the way so that I can use some pliers to get the rest of it out. Seems like a reasonable thing to do. However, I got it out a third of the way, indeed stripped the threads pretty badly, and I still can't get it out. It is still in there as if it is attached by concrete. I have tried everything that I could think of. I have tried everything in the YouTube videos except for one, which is to weld a nut onto the top of the screw head and then use a wrench to get it out. I don't have a welding torch. And the other solution was to get some kind of tool on it, like some kind of drill bit that I guess drills a hole in the screw itself, and then you can make another indentation. I don't know. I don't think I have that drill bit. I don't know. So after 2 hours of trying to move these doors around so that I could move around in this very tiny space, and trying to get these 6 simple screws out of the rail, just so I could inspect it, thinking it would be a very simple thing to do. Days later, this is where I'm at. I can't use the doors. The doors are all over the place. And again, in a 10 by 10 room, it's really hard to get around them. And the the top rail is just hanging, and I don't know what to do about that. I don't know how to get the screw out. I don't know what to do. I don't have anybody who lives here in this area who can come and help me. I can't even get the doors into my garage to get them out of the way because I can't pick them up and maneuver them through tiny spaces for long distances like that. There's no way. I need help. I do not have any help. And let's just say that the night that this happened, I ended up right here in this spot, curled up into the fetal position, crying for a very long time. I am really reluctant to share this because, again, it's a very vulnerable subject matter for me. I want to be a really skilled handyman. I really do. Like, that is important to me. It's not that important to some people, and they just want to be able to do basic stuff. I like legitimately want to be good at that stuff, up to and including woodworking. I would love that. I don't necessarily want to spend a ton of time on it because I have other hobbies that I really love, but I would love to be able to figure stuff out really simply, like one of my brothers does. Like, if there's a problem like this, he could fix it in 5 minutes. He knows exactly what to look for, exactly what to do, and he doesn't need to look it up on YouTube first. To be fair, I just want to point out that men grow up learning these skills. They are taught these skills. They are expected to know them. And women are expected to just go get help from a man or wait for your husband to come home. We really need to teach women this kind of stuff. And it really annoys me that was not exposed to this throughout my life. Like, I had to go find these skills for myself. However, I am very proud of the skills that I do have. I have built a fence. I have built garden boxes. Like, I know how to build some basic things. I wouldn't say that any of them are like super high quality, but I feel like I can get the job done. And I would really love to be able to get more jobs done without necessarily having to look at YouTube all the time. I would really love to be able to perform at a higher level of skill. I would love to be able to not get into situations like this, like a simple fix that takes 2 hours and leaves a bigger mess than before. I would really love to be able to do that. I am not making this video to ask people for help or to expose myself to people who are going to criticize me for everything that I've done, because I have no doubt that there's going to be, I doubt a lot of people will see this video because I haven't been very active on this channel, but those who do, like, I have a feeling there's going to be some criticism and some rude comments, and I probably won't read them because this is, again, a really sensitive issue. When you are alone on your own and you have no help and no backup, and you get into a situation like this, which you did the best you could, and this is where you ended up, and the last thing that we need is to be, But even saying that is going to happen because that's the way the internet is. But that's not why I'm here. I am here because I want to share the trials and tribulations of being single with the world and learning how to grow from them. I'm not talking about being upset that I'm single. Like, we're so past that. Like, if you have read my writing, that is not an issue for me. I am very happy with my life. I'm good. Like, I'm good. This is not a problem for me in terms of not having a boyfriend or a husband to help me fix it. I don't care who comes to help me fix it. I just wish single women had more of a support system. I don't care if it's a friend. I don't care if it's a girlfriend, a wife. I don't care. Like, I'm not looking to be rescued by a man. That's not the point of this. I am looking to become better at this, to become more self-sufficient, to become more capable and competent in a world where there isn't support for me, where there isn't support for single women homeowners in general. And it's not that this is the only thing that I want to talk about. I want to talk about traveling by yourself. I want to talk about car maintenance by yourself. I want to talk about all the things that are so scary and intimidating to many of us as women who are on our own and who don't have backup and who don't have anybody to help us. Like what happens when you get a flat tire by yourself? Like things like that. I want to learn how to do these things. And again, I'm pretty capable and competent with these things. Like I know how to change the air filters in my car. Like I even know how to change the oil. I just haven't done it totally by myself before. And I'd like to get to that point. Like all of these things I want to learn. And I want to bring women with me on this journey, especially women who are like me, maybe in middle age and realizing that they're pretty good on their own. They're pretty happy on their own. But the only issue is that we have so many things that we have to take care of and there's nobody to help us. How do we do it on our own? And I think that, again, maybe this might be a fun way to grow my audience and to expand into other subject area that's really important to me. As a matter of fact, one of my favorite channels on YouTube is, I think it's called Hannah Dugan. And she's a young woman. I mean, she's really young. She must be like 22 or 23. She bought her own house out in the country, and she, like, the home improvement projects that she does are like, oh my God. Like, she knows how to do stuff. I am blown away by her. Like, she literally can put a window, like an external window, like to the outside in a wall. I'd be terrified. I've always wanted to put a window in my bathroom, and I would be terrified to do that. In fact, I want to rip out the entire bathroom and start from scratch, which I'm pretty sure she's done that too. I'd be terrified. Like, I don't know how she does it, first of all. I mean, she uses YouTube videos and she makes it happen. But it's not just that. It's like, how do you believe in yourself enough? Especially when stuff like this happens. Like, she just keeps going back and doing it. And I have such fear around the ways that I don't know if it's like I'm just doing things wrong. I don't know if I'm just not smart about this stuff. I don't know why this kind of stuff happens, but it does. And I want to be different. I want to be different. And I think that's an amazing channel, and she's an amazing young woman. And I feel like maybe middle-aged women need a channel for just learning these things when we're in our 40s and 50s and older. We're just learning them maybe, and here's what we're doing. And maybe it's baby steps. Maybe I won't be filming myself putting a hole in my wall and trying to get a window in there, but baby steps. I don't know. So at this point, I don't know what to do with this problem. I'm considering maybe just trying to put it back the way it was and see what happens. The honest truth is, it would be really cool to install a different kind of door in here, like maybe barn doors. I've always wanted like to replace these ugly, I mean, I don't know if you can say, it's just standard. It's not that bad, but like, bleh. I would love to put barn doors in here, but I also have another closet in the other room, and I feel like, not that they have to be done at the same time, but I don't know. And then I think barn doors, the rail is on the exterior, which means if I screw that up, you will see it. So that makes me hesitate. And then there's the budget. This was not even close to being on my list of high priority projects for this house. I want to do the floors. I want to do the walls. I couldn't care less about the closet doors, but my hand is kind of forced right now. So I don't know. I really would love to say something here like, tell me what you think, or hey, have you had this problem, or things like that. But I really am afraid to ask that, because I know there are going to be a lot of mean comments, and this has really, there there's been a hit with my confidence right now, and I really don't need to be knocked down any lower. So yeah, that's all I got. However, I will hopefully come back and see if I can get this project started. And by this project, I mean some videos about it, and maybe that will help inspire me to fix that or to figure out what to do with it in the meantime. I don't know. So to all of you middle-aged women out there who are making it on your own, you are not alone. There are so many of us out here. It's hard. It's really hard, but we can do it. We can figure it out. If I could figure out how to build a fence by myself, for God's sake, I can figure this out. We can figure this out. We are not alone. We are capable, we are strong, and we are going to do this. We are going to build our dream homes and go on our dream vacations and figure all of this out, even if we have to do it all by ourselves.